started. Hi guys, hello Mary, meet everybody. It's MicheleMarieDalene. Yes, I don't know why we are well aware of that about the presidency. Personally, I think, however, it's just like 2020 or just like 2000. Bush versus Gore. This could take a while. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. I don't want to cover that today, but I will just briefly say is that we probably went on to have a definitive answer for a time. Okay, so, but I wanted to talk about was something a little different and a little more exciting. First of all, I'm here today early in the morning because Krista asked me if we could go grocery shopping tomorrow instead, which brings it fine with me. I don't have a problem with that. Also, we're going to have to make a decision about a couple things in the future of the channel, because obviously we are seeing that the morning shows are doing very well and the night shows are kind of fizzling out. As people who watch the morning show have said that they do enjoy the shows a lot better. It's more enjoyable for me and them, which is true. I really do admit that. Today, of course, we're going to be getting our new ears. They're going to be here this afternoon. So yeah, we will wear them tonight's show because obviously, hey, well, you might as well, right? At least we'll check them out and put them on and see how they look. They're slightly incorrect for the elf, but they're not too bad. So yeah, see how it goes. But I did bring up something when I did the tour of Silvermoon that I said that Bakilla basically is like a person who's getting equivalent of about $10,000 to $20,000 in Social Security disability a month. And it's kind of funny because it's true, because the character's needs are met. She doesn't have to work. She doesn't have to do nothing. All she does is basically just walk around like a zombie, which is true. Okay. And then me and Lomi were talking in the bath. I was like, okay. So your character basically doesn't have to do anything anymore. She's basically got her needs met. She doesn't have to pay taxes. She doesn't have to pay rent. She doesn't have to, but at the same time, she can't progress either. Even if she finally does hit level 50, and reaches endgame, she still can't progress. Because the certain levels of progression are just not in the game. For example, in reality, once you reach a certain level in your life, you're going to go on to the next level. For example, maybe after your high school years, after your college years, you might go to consider starting a family, and being a grandparent. Eventually, when your kids get old enough, they marry out, and you have grandchildren and great-grandchildren, and then you enjoy your twilight years and this, the real world end game. Because I see the world that we are in as a game. It's not all serious all the time. Of course, because we are so immersed in the game, we don't realize it's really a game. Just like, any kind of game is a game. We get so wrapped up in it, we don't even realize that real life is a game in its own right. I'm waiting for the expansion pack, which is the afterlife. And I don't mean the Shadowlands afterlife. I mean the real world afterlife. When you reach a certain point in your playing your character on Earth, yeah, you're gonna want to eventually move on to the next level. So let's first of all say hi to everybody. FC says top of the morning to you, Governor. How you doing, Michelle? And I don't know where it says morning FC. So the problem is so just like Bakilla, my character, my needs are met. My bills are paid. I have really, I'm still reaching out to my goal to inspire and to educate and to share knowledge with people, because that's what I do on the other side. I'm a teacher on the other side. I teach. So I do it here too, because it's the thing that is most comfortable to me, is to teach and share and to inspire students, even if you don't consider yourself students. If you come in here in this channel, you are pretty much coming in here because you enjoy the conversation and you enjoy what we share together. That's what this show, the morning show, does. In a way, we all know that the evening show can kind of be kind of slapstick and kind of funny, and even for me, even though it does have to roll this kind of weird in me. The morning show is a lot different because it's not. We have no phone on. We have no Discord on. We don't have Skype on. It's just me, you, chat, talk, and eventually we will want to expand to other areas too. Where were you about? Don't we not stream? No, man, it's just a dream. Life is a video game. Life is a living classroom. I'm talking about what we call IRL. In real life, it's a living classroom. It's all we have is we're playing characters in a video game that's we call life. It's a video game. We are all spirits, we're all souls, and we're playing these characters. Just like I play Michele, Valencia, Baralin, Beshara, Baradin, Vanya, Cadieris, Caradine, and World of Warcraft, the characters. But the thing is, what you learn from watching the characters, you will notice that they all very much act the same as the person playing them. That is, there's all very gentle souls. They're not out there to kill players for money and steal their gold or silver, or to go for prestige and bragging rights about killing, the Lich King or Nixia or any of that. They're just going through everyday life. And that's what my characters do in the game too. It's the same way. How you doing, Rachel? Good morning, Michelle. So, Rachel, how you doing? A game indeed, yeah. And might be the truest thing you ever said. Life is a video game. Yeah. Mary Beth says, good morning. FC says, truth bombs being dropped all up here by Michelle. You see Biden is leading in Pennsylvania? Yeah, I don't know how all those found mail ballots were discovered. Mary Beth says, how can I find out if my mother, who passed last year, voted in Nevada? I'm the best, says Noodles. Mary Beth, look up your state, and then there should be a phone number you can call. One person, mail-in votes, died in 1920. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, but you see, what I'm trying to point out is this. Me and Lemmy were talking about this in the bath. Why don't I explain it? Yeah, go ahead. We're looking at the characters in the game in that, kind of like Michelle said in the tour of Silvermoon, that her characters have reached a level where they don't have to do anything anymore. They just exist. I mean, Michele has everything she needs. She doesn't have to buy groceries. She doesn't have to pay rent. She doesn't have to pay utilities. She doesn't even have to worry about going hungry or having to take a bath or take a shower, or she gets free transportation. She has everything she needs, leaving her character in a state of implied perpetual bliss. Implied's the right word, because during the fact is one part of the poor character can't do is she can't get into a relationship or romance with another character in the game, and she can't have a house, and she can't have children, and it's an MMORPG, which means theoretically there's no reason why she couldn't. It just doesn't seem to happen because the resources to create characters newborns or children just doesn't exist. Right. And so one of the things is that a lot of long-term players have said is they wish Blizzard would have considered housing in the game. And how come we never see any Blood Elf children in the game either, or even human children? Exactly. Okay. It's always the talk of the town. He says, "Hi, Noodles." Rainbow said, "Michelle, thank you. They will be able to tell me if my write-in for Trump was turned into Biden." FC is the most famous. Blazing Leo says, "Hi, Richella." And of course, Noodle says, "Hi, Blazing." Republicans are going to take this hard. Biden will be president. I don't have a problem with Biden being president. I really don't. As I said, it's a game. It's a game. We're just basically flipping names around. That's all it is. We already know that, right? Just like once I hit the real world level 60, and I'm going to be waiting for the next expansion in real life. So, I mean, I've been on this earth 33 times. This is not new to me. I don't know why I keep coming back. I really don't, but I do. I could have gone elsewhere. I could have gone elsewhere. Originally, after my 32nd life in Nazi Germany or in occupied France, I was ready to basically throw in the towel and say I'm not coming back again. But for some reason, I decided to come back again. Maybe because I wanted to try to have a long life, finally beyond 32 years old, and I did. And it's still the pits. I lived 20. This is the longest life I've ever lived. I never lived to be 52 before. Never had a chance. But either way, look at the dialogue. Wow, guys, this is fantastic. Last night's show, we had like a dialogue that was going slower than watching paint dry. That was just like nobody really talking. This is the dialogue that I wanted to see last night on the show. We didn't see. I mean, sure, it takes me a little while to struggle to read it through. Every single time for sure. I don't know. Okay. If Biden becomes president, the masks will never come off. Our faces, vaccinations will be forced. It's going to be a dark winter. Yeah, but if we still have the Republicans are still in charge of the Senate and possibly in charge of the House, he's not going to be able to achieve all of his so-called ill-begotten goals. The real-world Savannah's Windrunner or chief is not going to be able to do what he wants to do because the Republicans will not let him. He tries to push a bill of legislation through that they're not going to support. It's not going to become law. And I know Mitch McConnell, even though he admits that he made a mistake with the stimulus, he said, I'm not going to let this happen. We are going to find a way to shut him down. Nice talk, Mr. McConnell, but unfortunately you haven't done anything before. You could have basically given everybody the stimulus check and maybe the Republicans would have had a better chance. So, again, they're just basically throwing names around. I thought the Democrats had the House and it was split down the middle. It is, but remember, a lot of the contested states are Republican candidates that are likely to possibly win. It could very well go either way at this point. Okay, it could either go. It really can. I don't think it's going to go that way. I don't see it. But guess what? I mean, look, this is my 33rd life. If my 33rd life turns out to be a wash, I've always got life 34. It's true. Yeah. My father is a bit. My father as well. I guess he rather be a communist. My father isn't going anywhere. Guns are just like abortion. They always threaten to change the laws and take the guns. They never do. Both are issues. Wait a minute. Let me say this. Okay, if many Democrats are pro-life or pro-choice, right? Then couldn't you see the same thing about a gun? That a gun is pro-choice too? And you have the right to choose if you carry or not to carry, or if you choose to abort your fetus or not to abort your fetus. Isn't that really what the Democrats should be focusing on? Is to say, just like the abortion and the pro-right groups, pro-choice, that the gun rights should be pro-choice. Because, I mean, in the long run, isn't that kind of what the defunding the police is too? The right to carry and kill your adversary because the police are not going to be there to protect you. In the states that encouraging defunding the police, aren't they kind of encouraging pro-carry or pro-choice for gun ownership if you choose to own or not? If you don't, you're going to end up becoming a doormat for somebody who chooses to carry an AK-47. I mean, I don't like guns, but I certainly do no problem with bladed weapons. I certainly like swords. I like knives. I like maces. I even like crossbows and crossbows. I mean, recurves and crossbows are cool too. But the point is the right to bear arms, of course, is a constitutional part of our Constitution is the Second Amendment to protect against tyranny. It says, I don't believe in abortion either. My stepfather has the number 1 tattoo from when he was a child. He's tried 3 times to be president. The powers used him. He'll be a 1 term. Check this out website here is guns are fine. People who think they are an issue need to have the heads examined. If you're going to defund the police, you better damn well allow people to have guns because you ain't going to have a choice. You're going to have to protect yourself and your family. I don't care if it's gun, crossbow, bolt, whatever. I don't care if it's what it is. It's a weapon. You need to have the right to bear armaments of any kind. You defund the police, they have no choice. Because the other guy out there who is also pro-choice is going to go out there and choose to kill you. It's that simple. Antifa, be alarmed. Don't play games. These guys are out there to kill you. You're going to be out there to protect your back. It's not a game. I mean, it is, but it's not. I mean, it's your life, you know? It's not like you can go back to the, like in the World of Warcraft when you basically die and you talk to the spirit walk and go, hey, I need a redo. But if you do have that option, I bet most people say I'm definitely going to play the game differently. I need to have a gun. I need to have a sword, a mace, or something. Because I'm tired of dying. I learned that from the game. You need to protect yourself somehow. It's stupid. Defunding the police system makes more sense to put more money into the training. And in this case, women lie, men lie, and numbers lie. I don't know why I pray you are wrong about this one. I still think Trump is fulfilling a script and that he is the king of divide and conquer. I just want my comedy. Smart guns kill people. Defund the police. Biden is too scared to even say law enforcement. Noodle says, all I see is videos of crowds booing Hitler. Sorry, FC, but the only way Trump comes back is to run in 4 years. That's what I think will happen. The Germans really hated that guy. Trump isn't going down without a fight. He'll be in court after court. Underwire says, hello, Noodles. Blazing Leo said, Noodles, are you in 1940s? Look, Ivanka 2024, Simpsons protected all. Those are the baseless lawsuits. Yeah, okay. I will. Let's just say it this way. Timberly just Timberly getting off this exit here. What do we learn from all this? We didn't learn from 2000, did we? Between Bush and Gore, did we? We didn't learn. Tight election. Somebody forgot to grab the Vaseline and is getting it rammed up them sideways. That's pretty much what's going to happen. And it's going to be the same old game. Some say Gore had a legitimate right to win, and Bush basically fought it. The situation with the hanging chads in Florida certainly didn't help. But the thing is, guys, it doesn't change the score, really. It really doesn't, because our politicians are not, any of them, for the most part. I'm going to say, I'm going to leave a little room, I'm going to leave a little wiggle room here. But majority of the time, they don't care about us. They care about themselves. They care about their family, their self-preservation, their own objectives. We're just a cannon fodder for them. You know, it's just like with Savannah Swindminer and in Battle for Azeroth. It's the same bullshit. I am going to go ahead. As war chief, I'm going to turn our horde characters into forsaken undead scourge, so that we can go ahead and finish my goal of finally wiping the Alliance off the face of the earth. Yeah, but you didn't ask the horde players if they wanted to be forsaken zombies, did you? No. But we'll make it look good if you manage to rescue prisoners that are sitting in the dungeons of Stormwind, and you rescue them. It's a suicide mission. Anybody who played the game knows that it's a suicide mission. Even without even looking at the cheat sheets and the notes from other players before me, I saw it was a suicide mission because I know Savannah Swindminer. It's the same thing with these candidates. We're just cannon fodder for the game. They don't care about us. At least a good portion of them don't. But why would you want to rule the world? Honestly, why would you want to rule the world? It's boring as fuck. You're going to rule the world and say, okay, I can tell how many people to eat, what to say, what to do, where to sleep, how to sleep, when to sleep. I can determine when they'll be born and when they're going to die. I can control how much taxes they have, yada, 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 yada. It's a control game. I hate control games. I really do. The only one I want to control is me. I don't want to control anyone else. Why would I want to do that? What do I benefit? But that's just the way these politicians are thinking. I can control a whole bunch of people in my actions. Oh, I'm so big. Yeah. Big thinker, big stinker. You're so vain, you don't even realize it. No one gives a shit. They don't. The average everyday person is saying, I'm worried about making sure that I can get my bills paid, feed my family. I don't care so much that you want to tell me that I have to heat my house with electricity when I personally think it's ridiculously expensive and it's going to cut into my bottom line. That's something that I care about. That's something I care about. But I don't understand the logic why anybody would want to control my life. What would they gain for it? Sounds awfully boring at the top. Ask me. Really. It says all politicians are crooks. No kidding. I don't know where hearings. LOL. What a joke. The only country worse than Nazi Germany is England. They still control 52 other countries they took in war and the colonial expansion period. Please don't forget that. Funniest Trump inflation did was during the revamp and ceremony where he tried to say he had more than Obama. I thought you meant the members of people who showed up for LOL, sorry. He called it a sea of love, LOL. But the point is, once you reach a certain level, once you've been there in everyday life, you start to see patterns. You start to see that a lot of the same players, and the names change, but the game's the same game. It doesn't change that much. It's almost like the creators of the game can't be more ingenious or, ingenious in the creation of life game. It's like it's the same thing. Someone becomes leader of this group, then he basically manipulates this group to an inch of their bloody lives. Another guy out of disgust basically goes there and kills that guy. Then they take control of that same group. Then they get bored and they start doing abusive stuff. And then all of a sudden, the group gets mad, revolts, and hangs him or puts him to the guillotine. Wow. It's not that different, is it? It's the same formula. It's the same game. Homie's right. It's the same game. It doesn't change. Come on, the powers be. Can't you come up with something good? Can't you come up with a new game plan that makes better sense for the world? Something that says something like, we're going to totally revamp it. We're going to change the game. Well, you haven't done it yet. Again, empty promises. Empty promises. Simpsons do have some very interesting thing. Has something like 70 Alabama Stadium is massive. Need more coffee. Can't type today. FC, it was crazy here. I need to upload the video here. I was only 10 feet away from Trump, 40 feet away from Trump. Simpsons are time travelers. To be fair, Trump crashed his total votes in 2016, so yes, he is popular. Yeah, he is. He certainly got the popular vote now. Remember, 2016, everybody thought he was just going to be doing it for lulz. Like Kiwi Farms would call a lolcow. An LOLCOW. Not to be taken seriously, but he actually turned out to be serious, which left Hillary Clinton basically totally ill-prepared. The people really seriously were going to take Trump seriously. Well, I gotta admit, I'm kind of glad that he tripped her up. Because the sulfurous woman from the devil, demon spawn, would have been a terrible presidential candidate. Really. Hillary Clinton would have been a disaster. And so he did get his chance in the limelight to show that he, as a businessman and not a career politician, could make a difference, and he did. But he was kind of underprepared for how much abuse that the mass media would do to him. However, he fought hard and he fought with valiancy and with compassion, which means he's a little bit better than your typical politician because he indeed what was doing his best to overcome the same kind of obstacles that a lot of everyday people would have faced if they tried to do that. Could you imagine me as president of the United States? First of all, I wouldn't really want the role, but you think the New York Slime is exactly going to go out there and give me a good, positive, rousing ovation? Legally blind blood elf sympathizer becomes president of the United States. Are we going to get blood elf ears now? I don't know. But the point is that's what they did. The media turned them into a mockery. And yet he violently fought on to prove that he was going to do his best to be president. That takes dedication and drive to do that. I can tell you, he's dedicated. And you're right. He's an air sign. He's a Gemini. And these Geminis, they are communicators and they fight for what's right. Aquarius are the same way. If I get wound up in something, damn it, I don't sleep until I resolve it. Or until I fall dead, one or the other. But I decided not to really make a big deal about the election because it's the same game. We keep playing the same game every 4 years. It doesn't change. Especially in the last since Ronald Reagan, it's been getting worse and worse and worse. It's not simply, Republicans are business and Democrats are family and culture and community. Now there's actually 3 parties, depending on which one you happen to be in. For example, like I said, if Tulsi Gabbard had run for president instead of Biden, I would have voted for Tulsi Gabbard. I would have. Because she was a moderate and she understood the military complex because she was a Marine. But she chose to withdraw from the race. And what are we going to do? We'll vote for a far left, commie-loving presidential candidate? Or vote for one that at least stands behind the American people? Of course I'm going to stick behind the one that stands for the American people because that's what I am. But really, in the long run, at the end of the day, does it really make a difference? I'll leave that for the philosophers to chew on, but I personally don't think it's going to make much of a difference. Clinton's killed my friend Les, asking everyone should read the Clinton Chronicles, the most nasty people in our country. Yeah. The Simpsons predicted the Snow Queen. I don't know. I don't know what Matt Groening would be predicting about me. Yeah, I don't know. Be interesting though. But I don't know. I gotta get back to the housework. It never ever ends. Have a good day, Michelle, and I'll be listening. Don't forget, we're still having our night show tonight, 7 o'clock. But let's try to make some official scheduled time for the morning shows because, after all, we've already been having them at 10 o'clock Eastern. I'm probably going to keep them at 10 o'clock Eastern, Monday through Friday. Saturday and Sunday, I'll probably keep off of me. But Monday through Friday, I figure is good because it gives us a chance to have a morning show, no phones, no phony baloney, and we can try to cover more serious topics. And then, of course, the 7 o'clock shows at night, so kind of, okay. So I know that some of the comedians on my channel are kind of a little bit disenfranchised because there's no laughing or making fun of me in the morning show. But I didn't come in this world to be laughed at. I came back to share and to teach and to inspire. That's why I came here. That's why main reason I came back to Earth. That's what I do on the other side. The same thing. I'm a teacher. I'm a professor. On the other side, that's what I do. I'm just doing the same what I do here. I do at home. It's the same role. Look at Michele. She does the same thing. If you see the way she plays the game, she's not there to hurt people. You know, when I'm playing the character, I'm actually showing my true self in the game. Sure, I get mad too, by the way, but not that mad. Anyway, so let's take a look at some of these comments here. Let me scroll back a bit on my screen because I've fallen a bit behind. So let's go through this. Okay, so let's go back because this is so busy here. FC, it was crazy here. I need to upload the video I have. I was only 40 feet away from Trump. Simpsons are time travelers. Yeah, I do think they have been pretty accurate with the predictions for the most part. Anwar says, to be fair, Trump crushed his total votes in 2016. So yes, he is popular. Yes, he is. So to be fair, Trump. Okay. FC says the Simpsons are part of the script in a huge way. Yeah. He could just go back to making billions. You know what? Here's the thing. It's one thing that Michele learned about. Once you achieve a certain level of wealth, you don't really have any inspiration to go make more wealth. Unless you just like to hoard gold. She could it's the same thing with World of Warcraft. Once I've seen people do this thing like gold farming, you know, and they go out there and they like earning like thousands of gold a day. And it's like once you reach a certain level of gold, like what's the reason? Because all your needs are met. So what's the point of keep mining billions of US dollars a day? He's not going to starve to death. He's provided for, his needs are met, his family's fed. He's got his health. He's doing good. So he technically doesn't have to really do that anymore. He could just go ahead, retire, tell his children and his great-grandchildren stories of what his younger years when he started out in Manhattan and the early boons of the 1980s, and he would be fine. He's not going to need to worry about that. Next comes tax charges for tax. Just wait. Yeah, it's possible. But again, he's well provided for. He doesn't have to worry. He can easily pay them off, and he'll still have money left over. To be clear, the narrative is that Trump dies in office, regardless of what happens with his election. That still can come true. It's also possible that Biden could be the one that dies in office too. After all, technically, Biden is older than Trump. I mean, who says it couldn't be Biden who dies in office or gets taken out by the 25th Amendment? And then Kamala Harris becomes the next president. Remember, Lisa Simpson says, yes, I am the first straight female president of the United States. How do we know that she's not actually representing but Kamala Harris? Yeah, interesting idea, right? So could the Simpsons be right about that? Could Lisa Simpson actually be representing Kamala Harris? I will leave it at that. All right. Next, okay. Candace Owens would make an excellent president. Yes, I think so. And why in the heaven's name hasn't the Republicans? She is a Republican. Why didn't they ever consider her for a nomination? Let's see. It says taxes. Wait until you see Biden's plan. Trump is eating himself alive. He hasn't slept in days. I already covered that. Yep. Out on the wire, I wonder too if they'll do a show trial with him. Only makes sense if he doesn't kick the bucket beforehand. Michelle says, have the Simpsons predicted the Snow Queen? Wouldn't that be the shit? That would still be interesting. I don't know. Ask Matt Growing. See what he says. Let's see. Forward Consciousness says, Trump is definitely not worth billions. Yep, FC, they are gonna try to bury him. Yeah, but I don't know if it's gonna work that well for them. Michelle's Amazon wish list. Maribeth says, Clinton's killed my friend Les asking. Everyone should read the Clinton Chronicles, the most nasty people in the world. I saw that in Arkansas. I don't need to read it. Let's take a look at the Illuminati's playing cards, layouts, so much of what has already happened and what will happen in the near future. They have never let me down as a rough guidebook as to what we should expect. Except I would like to know what's the point of the games that they're playing. That's what I want to know. What's the point of the games they're playing? All right, I gotta go. Okay. Maribeth says, let's Aspen, not asking. Autocorrect at the wrong time. Okay. Think about it. First of all, you piss off the left. Now it's time to piss off the right. It's actually a smart plan. Good morning, Denise. How you doing? FC says, Tulsi's candidacy was 1,000% for show. They offered every person in America a candidate to root for, and all you can eat buffet of candidates to pick from. Yeah, but they didn't want to even give her a chance to even. Well, she dropped out of the race. Yeah, I don't know why, but maybe she realized she couldn't win. Probably. Michelle, have you been sleeping? You've been live in the morning a lot. Keep yourself well. I have been. If you notice, we haven't been playing World of Warcraft at 10 o'clock at night anymore because we switched to our morning schedule. So that's the reason why I'm thinking is that we might try to switch the show to the mornings and play World of Warcraft in the afternoons. But then I don't know about the 7 o'clock show. That's kind of up for grabs right now. Denise says, I like the morning show. Well, I do too, Denise. First of all, it's a lot less stressful for me. And let's see, I'm just kind of getting caught up here. I just love seeing him represent the facade of the presidency. Maribeth says the movie was not as well documented as the book, but it was still good. Last one that's up to date was still Nightbot. The thing is, the morning show is better because it's less pomp and circumstance. I mean, the phones can be really distracting. We can't even really talk. Because in the phone screen, I could be starting a thought in the middle of the phone. It wasn't, shit. You have to answer that thing, and then somebody starts talking about me molesting my cat or eating poo or some silly off-the-wall thing, and means that any serious topic is gone because it's almost impossible to recover from that. Whereas the morning show, we don't have the phones on, and so we can focus on the topics, and I can catch up on the comments and read through them. So that's the reason why the morning show makes sense, because I can focus on the topic at hand. 100%. That's a big deal to me. So what's my view about what have I learned about myself? And As I said, this is my 33rd life on Earth. First of all, I'm stubborn. I am definitely a glutton for punishment. I could have easily gone to another planet instead of come back into Earth. Again, and me and Lummy next life are going to another dimensional plane. We're not staying here. No. Because this planet is not doing well. Okay. Also, when I was this morning, I had a dream where I finally confronted some of my biggest concerns about. This is kind of weird. I'm going to throw it out here anyway. Take it as you want. Which is this: I had a chance to confront Savannah Swindrunner, and I told her, I said, and it was a face-to-face confrontation after she tried her suicide mission trap on me. I said, look, why do you even really want to have all these Forsaken running around? Why are you trying to create more Forsaken? You're so driven to try to beat up the Alliance. Well, I don't want to play the Horde savior for you. I just want to settle down with my friend Jovia and start a family. And I've got everything I provided for. I've been decorated war hero. I mean, I've served on the Garrosh Hell Scream. I've done campaigns. I've done I plow through battlegrounds and dungeons. I don't need to keep doing this. Why is it you're so driven to use Horde members to help you achieve your mission to create a Scourge army? And she wouldn't answer me because she couldn't answer me. And I actually read her mind. I said, of course you can't answer me because you don't have an answer. I said, if I had a choice right now, I'd walk away from you, but you control the cards. I can't even leave this instance. I can't get out of the game at this point because I can't even commit suicide in the game, because if I do, then you're going to take my body and turn me into Forsaken. I can't leave because they've already lowered the portcullis. You disabled my Hearthstone. I can't go home. I'm stuck. And it's the same here with the real world too, because we have been painted into a corner by the powers that be that are only hurting us to one choice, and it's for them. It's not for us. It's not for us to finally reach our level of, the next level. It's for them to reach theirs, and we're just little peons that basically get stuck having to be part of the games that they play. And the FC would agree with me on that. I mean, I already kind of knew that. That's why I could see Savannah Swindrunner a mile away, because I could see it from the real world. But why did I go on the mission after all? Well, because first of all, maybe I could achieve the goal of rescuing the prisoners in the Stormwind dungeon. But you know what? Here's the funniest thing. One of the prisoners said, I don't want to go back. That's not my horde anymore. My horde, my Sylvanus is not my horde chief. And I had to look at the old guy, and I shook my head with dismay. I said, you know what? You're right. She's using us. That's just like the real world. They're using us. They're hurting us because they want control, domination, but they can't tell me why they want it. What's the point? of having all these people under your control. That's a lot of work for such little gain. Forever, Stefan is good at everything he does. His children books are spectacular. Yeah, that was the stupidest one. That's what it said about being a Trump TV network. I'll hope your country is still there when I get back. You know, out on the wire, I'm not going to lie to you. Canada's next. You think that they're going to stop with just the United States? They're going to take Canada down too. These people are going to destroy Canada. They're going to destroy Mexico. They're going to turn this all into one big giant. It's going to be just like the landmass of Kalandor. And Europe is the Eastern kingdoms. But when you think about it, who runs Kalandor and who runs the Eastern kingdoms? One day, all the Kalandor will be Horde, and one day, all the Eastern kingdoms will be Alliance, which is basically, in the long run, it's all going to come down to the forces of the red versus the forces that are blue. But really, they all work for the forces that are purple. Because red and blue make purple. And they don't care. The colors will mix, and there will be no longer a separate entity. So is for Biden now. Yeah, exactly. But you know what? I still got my elf ears coming this afternoon. Okay? And you know what? Just like my characters, I am a Cinderai. In real life, I am the real world version of a Cinderai. Children of the blood. Tossed out by the night elves, thrown aside, eking out an existence, surrounded by enemies, fighting for what we truly believe in. That's what the blood elves do. After everybody else, after Erithus basically told us when we were in alliance, sorry, I don't have time to help you against the Scourge. Go fuck yourself, was what he said, pretty much. And then the Scourge come through and destroy your city, Silvermoon. I don't give a crap. Well, guess what? You know, in my real life, it's been the same way. I have been abused, mistreated, misrespected, and treated like garbage. And yet, I get up, even if it's harder physically, get up, stand up, and say, no, I'm not giving up. I'm not going to give up. For the sake of my people, the ones that suffered before me, I will stand and I will fight. That's what I feel. That's the real me. This Aquarius has fought against some pretty tough people in my life, to me. And I'm still fighting. Yeah. All right, so we're at 7 people, and right now the chat is kind of falling kind of quiet. I'm not sure why, but But the good news is I'm doing fine physically. I have been sleeping good. And I have been, thanks to the support of Patreons and those who donate to PayPal, my channel is still doing well. Continued subscriber growth certainly is a good thing. People do enjoy the morning show because it's a little more deep and profound and more one-on-one with less distractions. And, I'm glad that we can finally talk about the real feelings and passions I have and not being distracted with phone calls like train rape and saying I molest my cat and do hideous acts. That's one of the things that makes me happier that we could have that conversation. Oh yeah, I can understand what Trump's going through too, because the damage that Kiwi Farms did many years ago. But I'm still here. I'm still here. So what do you guys think? What's your feelings on the issues that we're discussing? Does it really matter if Trump wins or loses? Honestly, no. Because those people, those power-hungry people, are going to try to destroy him anyway. It doesn't. I mean, yeah, of course, he's get billions of dollars in assets and property, but is he really that bad of a guy? He goes out of his way to help people in need. Sure, he enjoys the pomp and circumstance of being the host of The Apprentice, and he enjoys being the president. He loves grandstanding. It's Gemini for you. Most Aquariuses are not into that. We're very quiet. We're very thinking, but we're excellent communicators. But most of us do not heavily get into that. Now, of course, I got a moon in Leo, which means that, yeah, there's still some of that showwomanship in the game. I do have it, but I'm not so aiming for show that I'm willing to sell my soul for showmanship. Only for a small group of people will I do that with. Well, I will go out there and act like a show person. It has to be for people I feel understand that I'm a lot more profound than just a person who just goes out there on stage and sings and plays an instrument or grandstands in front of millions of people at a rally. I don't think I could handle a rally like his. I think I probably would freak out. I mean, a group of about 30 people is about as maximum I could do. But imagine doing 30, 40,000 people. No way. Yeah, she left to do some housework. I don't know if she's still reading the chat or not. So she might still be here. Nick News Network. After all, it is morning in the United States, and people are, of course, taking care of household work and chores. Like I washed my laundry before I came up here. After I washed me, took a good long bath and soaked and washed my hair, and you can see my hair looks nice and clean. And my red hair, you can see the redness in it. No, I didn't re-dye it. It's just the way it is. So let's talk about something a little bit different. Let's talk about Because I mentioned it a lot. I might as well bring it up, right? Let's talk about it. What does the real MicheleMarieDalene want? Pretty much the same as everybody else does. I want to reach the next level of my expansion pack. I want to settle down with a special person in my life. Me and Lomi both agree we do need a third person. The problem is to who is that person going to be? It's not Patty. We know that. Anything about the Patty left me was a big, giant emotional bruise. Anything, and left me disenfranchised, and wondering if the kind of persons that I'm seeking in my life really exist. I think that it could be he or she, do exist, but I don't know where to begin looking. That's a reality. I don't know who they are. I don't even know where to begin looking for them. In the game, my character really likes the innkeeper Jovia. Michele likes her, and Valenia likes her. The third character, the third blood elf, Brian King, couldn't care less. She's just staff. I don't really care about, if she likes me or not. But the thing with Jovia is that the Blizzard designers did is they have her looking at the bookshelves. Like, why? Is she regretting her decision to run the inn, and that maybe deep down she really wishes she had chosen to go into the scholastic studies as a scholar? Or was it because it was her family's inn, and then she had to keep in the family business, even though deep down she wanted to go back and work in university? We don't know. However, it's an MMORPG, which means that you can have a story. It could be any sub-story that you create. It's still the main story is still going to be told by Blizzard. It's the sub-stories that are created by the players. And the players in the real world are the same way. We don't know who actually wrote the game of life. And I don't know what their end story is. But if you think about Earth as an MMORPG, it's up to us individual players to create our stories, our destinies. Don't expect the game master to create your character story. You got to create that. So, I mean, that's a reality. That's no joke. That is reality. So I mean, same thing with my cat, by the way. It's Rusty right here. Same thing with him. What's his story in his life? What's Mr. Kitty thinking? What does he want in his life? Technically, he's got everything he wants. He's got food. He's got shelter. He's got a warm body to sleep next to. He has achieved, as far as I know, everything. He's fathered many, many kittens. He's been there. He's achieved everything that you would expect a tomcat to achieve. He's not a Tom anymore. He's fixed, but still. He's achieved, for him, to my knowledge, everything that he ever wanted. So, Something to think about. So now we wait for the chats, the comments, the views. We still got 7 of you guys on here. Don't be afraid to talk. If you agree with me or disagree, I would love to have your view on it. So interesting thing in the dream in the end is Savannah's kind of said, you know what? I want to see what you do if I leave you stuck here in Azeroth. You're not returning to Earth. You're stuck here. What did I do? I went back to the inn. I walked up to Jovia and I said, you want to go on a picnic? Get out of here for a few hours. The inn pretty much takes care of itself. You don't need to worry about it. And we went out for a picnic. And the ever song was, she told me a lot of stories. Things that NPCs don't really get a chance to tell you in the game. Because at this point, she was not an NPC anymore. She was as live and breathing and physically warm as I was. And somehow Savannah's kind of changed her mind in the end. And we ended up flipping the cards, or I could actually bring her to Earth. And we came back to Earth. And she said to me, I don't wonder why you like Silvermoon so much. This place is so plain. I said, yeah, it's plain. She said, it's not a bad place. Use a little interior decorating. You could definitely use some nice look of Silvermoon in here. You could use like the room that you have in Silvermoon is so gorgeous that too bad I can't take that boring room of yours and turn it into something like this in Silvermoon. But she, the funny thing is she isn't a mage. She's just a common Cinderai. Sure, she's level 30, but that's only because she has to be able to fight and protect herself. She knows how to handle swords and weapons, but she's not a mage. Of course, Michele is not a mage either. She's a priestess. And one of the things I regret in the game is playing a shadow priest. But you know what? That's just like real life. Sometimes you have to choose the best of the worst choices. It doesn't mean that that you're less valuable because you choose to make a decision at a time that made sense at that time. Well, point is, looks like we're pretty much done. I don't know what 7 o'clock show is going to be like tonight. I never know. But I do hope that all of you guys watching the reruns will comment in the comment section below the video here and take the time to reach out to me in the comment section. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It helps because once we get 1,000 subs, we can get a community tab, and then we'll be able to share little pieces of information without having to do a whole video on it. Let's, given this hectic, fast-paced life of ours and the world around us, it's a lot easier for some people. They get the information in little nuggets that they can read instead of trying to sit there and watch a 5-10 minute video of me explaining what I was trying to say, could have said in a paragraph. Of course, tonight we'll have the Blood Elf ears on. At least that's the objective anyway. Unless the Porch Pirates steal them. I hope not. I don't know. I'm going to keep my eyes open for packages. I'm not going to let the Porch Pirates take my ears. No. What am I going to do with my character, Michele, in the World of Warcraft? Hard to say. But I do know that the next expansion is going to be kind of weird. But the sad truth is the expansion doesn't really adjust to one thing that my character needs more than anything. Closure in life. She needs to be able to reach closure in a time. I mean, you're going to start talking about the afterlife in the game. Oh, gee. What's the next expansion after that going to be? Could the next expansion after that be a rebirth? Could the next expansion be where World of Warcraft finally deals with the issues that they've never dealt with? Like starting a family and starting a home, a place to build a home, a housing unit. Because, the players, you only can do so many raids and dungeons, It's not going to change everything. How are you doing, Charlotte? Yeah, how you doing? Just kind of reflecting on something that we were talking about when we first started about an hour ago. You want to rewind it a little bit? You could watch some of the comments. Because we have the DVR function, so you can go back and rewind it and then watch some of that I said. It's kind of profound. Happy Friday to you. How you doing? I'll rewatch later. Okay. But for all those of you guys who are still watching now, all 6 of you, please do watch this from the beginning again, because it'll be interesting for you. I'll certainly give you a lot to think about, and get to know me better as well. A lot of people really don't know much about the real me. I mean, they know that with the 7 o'clock show, it's kind of silly and stupid, and it gets into really strange stuff, but they don't really know the real person, which is kind of sad, because I'm the kind of person that makes you think about things that you may not have really been thinking much about. I'm fine. I'm doing fine. I'm holding in there. I don't know why I got so philosophical today. But anyway, the thing is I do get like that, especially after taking a bath and having a chance to think about the life, the world, and everything. Something from Douglas Adams, right? The meaning of life. What is it? What is it we do? Why do we do what we do? Thank you. Thank you for the love from London. I appreciate that. Did you see the video tour of Silvermoon I did yesterday afternoon? That's the tour of Silvermoon. Did you see that this afternoon? It was about an hour long. Shadow, how you doing, Pete? If you guys get a chance to watch the tour, it's pretty cute, and it goes and it shows a lot about me in a way I see myself and how I play the game. I've been sleeping a lot. I have to catch up. Well, it's still rerun. You can still watch it. It's still on here. You can always watch it over again. People can do that. It's not like it's lost to you. It's still on. It's still on YouTube. I think some people might like it because it'll be very inspiring. Do. 8 people right now. Not bad. Anyway, how do you like the morning show versus the 7 o'clock Eastern show? Several have already commented on that, but I want to know what you think of the morning shows, which for you are not so much morning, but rather are early afternoon, versus the evening shows, which are late at night in the UK. Which ones do you like better and why? That's the question. I like the morning shows myself because there's no phone ringing, there's no distractions. I can focus on a serious topic and give people a chance to think about it during the day when they're doing their own thing. Gonna have a good time with that. Of course, we know that people do need comic relief as well. Their lives are at the point where they need comic relief. Morning shows are more time accessible for me, exactly. Do you ever honestly wish that during the morning, which just really matches my skin, I have my foundation. These, of course, are just yellow. You really have to do something with them. Well, like what? What about if you put like these are not the ears I ordered, but these are the ears I bought in the past. What are you suggesting? What would happen if you actually put some foundation on them and like the natural ivory foundation that you wear now? Great question. That is a great question. Let me go get some foundation. I want to try that. I want to right back. I want to try an experiment. Now I know that normally for theatrics they use something different than this. I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of this ivory on the ears, on the tips, and I want to see If I can make it blend in better with my skin tone. Oh, you're getting it all over the table. Yeah, oh my God, that makes a difference. Okay. Just really getting in there really good. All right. It's not that much of a difference. It's different. Boom. Look. Oh yeah. It's not a lot of difference. The one that is on the right side this year here, I put some ivory foundation on it, and this one is from the box factory latex. So this one's latex stock, and this one that's flipping back and forth. This one I put the foundation on, and let's see how they compare. Well, first of all, I gotta be able to see it through myself. Doesn't look like this is lighter. This one is lighter. This is lighter, and this one's darker. So this did lighten up this year, but your skin's still more pink. Also, you get rid of some of the shininess on the ear, which makes it look a little more realistic to it, so it doesn't look so shiny anymore. You can see, maybe the audience can't see the shininess. There's a gloss to it. This doesn't have the gloss anymore, so this looks more like it really would look like. Okay. Oh, okay. So that's interesting. I just managed to get my sleep pattern back for English time. Yeah. Yeah, these are the inexpensive custom ears that Blizzard was selling for Halloween for cosplay. These are attached by elastics. The new ears we ordered are not held in place by elastics, but rather are held in by body glue, which is different. So this, you know what, Dylan? I really do like that with the ear, with the foundation. I think I'm going to do the same thing on this ear too. Makes sense. Yeah. I don't want to use up all my foundation though. That's why I didn't use the pump stuff, because the pump stuff is so just trying to blend them in because it makes it a little lighter. It gets get into the grooves in here, and let's get this in here really good. You got too much on this here. Yeah, I know. You got. Just gonna get a piece of paper towel and just basically rub this in here really good. And try to get the back of the ear too. Why? You can't see the back of the ear. Yeah, but you can. Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, it really takes out the shine in the ear, which is great because the other ear will always look kind of shiny. Yeah. All right. So let me just go ahead and get a piece of paper towel, and then I will go ahead and clean the table and clean my fingers. Put some of the foundation on my face and some more fingertips. Okay. So. Yeah, I'm just wiping the table off real quick. Okay. So, yeah, I paid a lot of money for these ears because I kind of got them a little bit after Halloween. So, let's see. I like how you got rid of the shine on them. You know what? It looks a lot closer to your real ears. or your real face color. They do, yeah. This is the one that gets too much on. Rusty, come on. That looks closer, but it's just, yeah. So it's a little oily. Just take off some of the excess. I don't know how well this Revlon is gonna affect, but I do like you said, Loam, that it took away a lot of the shine in the latex material, so it looks closer to right. So you're gonna do the same thing with the other ears. It depends on how off they are. If they're like this off, yeah. If they're just slightly off, because I got to put a little bit of pink in them. So like these are kind of like, let's compare it with my real ears. I mean, here's my real ears. Oh, yeah. I need some pink in them, but you know. Oh well, what are you gonna do, right? Okay, so that did help. Get rid of some of the shine on them. Berg's threatening to kill me over diabetics remark. Who is Berg's threatening to kill me over a diabetes remark? Noodles, who is that? Yeah, the ears are coming are different. I showed those on the video yesterday. Hopefully tonight you'll be able to see them on the show. And if they don't really need to be repainted or changed colors, using what they call theatrical paint. I think they call it FCA paint or something. Because I mean, they're supposed to be flesh colored latex. Well, let's see. Don't forget, human beings have different flesh colors. There's no human being that has the same color skin. So let's see how that works. If you have any pink or red matte lipstick, try mixing a bit into the foundation to make it more. Yeah. I don't have any pink lipstick, but you're right. Yeah, because that's obvious that those ears, my skin is more of a pink color than the ears. So I'm gonna have to. I got the money to buy the lipstick. I could go to CVS tomorrow, but then go shopping with Krista in the morning because she wants to change it to Saturday, and I'll see if I can pick up some. What number lipstick would be good, or I can try other foundations too. But all the ones I've seen are like. Well, the only thing is that I need something that's more of a matte because of the way lipstick is kind of a wax like color, and if you mix it in, well, what about lip? What about the lipstick that you brush on instead of the kind that's just in the typical lipstick applicator? That might work too. Yeah. We'll have to see. I agree with you. I'm gonna have to try something if I really want to blend them in. Um. Oh, I'll try something. So I had a This morning's show, we covered a lot of interesting perceptions between FCA and Michele and a few others. And then I got into a deep discussion about the game of life. I'm talking about IRL life, not video game IRL. And I think some people kind of liked it because it's a little different, but then maybe some didn't. Like, I realize, like, deep down right now, honestly, the election isn't going to really matter who you win for because it's still going to basically result in you basically being defeated. If that makes any sense, right? You're going to end up being defeated because the enemy is to be. Yeah, this is the Ivory full cover color stay. The matte 110 Ivory. That's what I usually use for makeup anyway. Pink or red matte lipstick. Yeah. Little cameras. Well, how are you doing right now in London? I mean, how are things going with the COVID-19 in London? You guys are going into level 3 or phase 3, and a lot of people are still kind of United States are going to stick in phase 1 or phase 2 anyway. Yeah, that's what I thought. A lot of Connecticut people are doing the same thing. France is doing the same thing. There's people are getting. It's just locking down really solving anything. Kind of made me think about what one of the characters did in the Burning Crusade. It was Warcraft 3 when Aerithas goes out there and kills all the residents of Stratholme because of the plague, saying that there is no cure for the people who have gotten the blight, and that just put them out of their misery by just killing them outright. We went, me, Skynet, and Paul went into the caverns of time, and we played the mission of Stratholme. And at first, I went into the game or in that sub story with Ingrid's Erithus, and I really was fuming, and then we realized that in a way Erithus had no choice because number one, they didn't have DNA scientists so to come up with a way to deal with the Scourge menace, and there was no way to easily get a vaccine in time to the people of Strathhorn to prevent them from getting the blight, the Scourge blight, which was in contaminated grain. Very, very appropriate storyline for COVID-19. I wonder if maybe, honestly, if they were to do that to humans in real life, how would people view the leaders that would go to do a mass genocide, saying it's the only way to prevent the scourge of the COVID-19 from killing everybody? Yes, COVID cases did raise a lot. But in the case of Erithus, did it make sense for him to kill all the residents of Stratholme to deal with that's a large city. I mean, he killed He killed tens of thousands of people to prevent the affliction of the plague. And unfortunately, I was one of them people in the campaign. They had to go out there through the caverns of time mission, kill all those people too. And so at first I was very angry about it, but then after the game, but then Lemmy and I said, well, since clearly they didn't have access to the modern medical treatments we have, that would have prevented the beginning of the creation of the scourge. Maybe he did the right thing to prevent more people from being infected. Still kind of scary to think about, though. It's kind of like the old saying: if all you got a hammer, all you have is this hammer. Oh, your problems look like nails. You know. Thank God, reality makes in some ways makes a little more empathetic. That we can come over. That we're working on a vaccine to treat a problem instead of killing everybody in cold blood and mass genocide. But is it really gonna help? All those people are going to be exposed to COVID-19 who are giving out the vaccines. What if the vaccines don't treat the problem? What if the vaccine only just kind of alleviates the problem? That's an interesting question. So we'll just have to see. I still think Arthas is an asshole, but maybe in that case he had no choice. Kind of interesting that they want to come up with an Arthas movie during the time of COVID-19. I wonder if there's a reason why that Blizzard wants to create the Arthas movie at the height of a pandemic on Earth. All right. Anyway, guys, please do watch the tour of Silvermoon. It's really good in reruns. It's out there on YouTube. You can watch it at your leisure. It's about an hour long, and we will be. Let's try to see if we can schedule an official schedule for the show for the mornings. I'm thinking Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And that way people can still watch the morning shows, and then we'll still do the night shows. Who are you? Your rogue mods caused me the thumbs down from 200 accounts. Who are you? Who are you? It doesn't make any sense to you. You know, if you don't really like the channel, why the hell are you watching it? You know, you don't have to watch the channel. If you don't like the channel, then get out. That's all I say. You came here. I didn't force you here. I didn't put a sword to your throat and say you're going to show up in my channel, maggot. You're going to watch the whole damn thing. I never said that. You came here. Anyway, everybody, I'll see you. So let's make this official for the show. I'll put this in the schedule. So we're going to have the morning shows Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. until whenever. And the night shows for now will stay Monday through Saturday, 7 o'clock Eastern to whenever. World of Warcraft gameplay will be pretty much whenever it's going to be. And that way everybody can learn something new and have a little bit of everything. I will go ahead and try to update the information on the video description about the change hours so that you can know. Or maybe I just won't make it officially, put it in the description, but rather just know, check it out, 10 a.m. Monday through Friday. I'll see how that goes, keep going on with it, and then for a few weeks and see if that's going to change anything. All right, guys, have a nice day for now. Do me a favor, stay out of trouble, and I will see you for the evening show at 7 o'clock tonight. The next morning show will be on Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Okay? That sounds good to me. Sounds good to me, too. And don't be afraid to comment and share these videos with your friends, your family, whatever the case may be. And we'll continue to learn new things together. All right? Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody.